In the tranquil heart of ancient Japan, a young monk named Aoki lived in a small temple nestled in the verdant hills. Like many of his peers, Aoki was diligent in his daily practices. He rose with the sun, meditated under the ancient pines, and pored over the sacred texts, but deep within, he felt a yearning for something more, a sense of understanding that seemed just beyond his grasp. One day, as cherry blossoms danced in the gentle breeze, an old wandering monk entered the temple grounds. This monk, known across many provinces for his vast wisdom, had a reputation for the intriguing and enlightening tales he would share. His eyes, bright with the light of knowledge and experience, held stories of the world beyond the temple walls. As dusk fell, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the monks of the temple gathered in the main hall. The old monk settled in the center, his presence commanding yet serene. He began sharing a tale about two frogs, creatures so small yet about to reveal profound truths. He spoke of the first frog, one that thought small, a frog that believed in only what it saw and nothing more. This frog lived at the edge of a small pond, its entire world confined to the reeds and lilies that bordered its watery home. To this frog, the pond was everything, safe, known, and unchanging. The other frog, however, thought big. Although it too lived by the same pond, it nurtured a belief that there was something beyond those familiar waters. Its heart yearned to discover the unknown, to leap beyond the lily pads and the confines of the pond. Driven by an expansive mindset, this big-thinking frog one day decided to venture out. It hopped over rolling hills, through lush valleys, discovering vast lakes and mighty rivers. It met creatures of all kinds and saw the beauty of the world in its myriad forms. Months later, the big-thinking frog returned, its eyes alight with wonder. It brought back tales of grand oceans with waves that touched the sky, of immense mountains whose peaks wore crowns of snow. The small thinking frog, however, found these tales hard to believe. Its world, its beliefs were confined by the limits of its small pond. The small thinking frog, doubtful of the tales, questioned the validity of such grand adventures. It wondered how there could be waters larger than their pond, and mountains taller than the trees. The big-thinking frog, undaunted by the skepticism, remained calm yet passionate, explaining that just because one hasn't seen something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Their pond was merely a small part of a vast world, full of endless possibilities. The old monk paused, scanning the attentive faces of the temple monks, and continued the story. The small thinking frog, despite its doubts, felt a spark of curiosity one morning. It decided to explore just a bit beyond the pond and was amazed to discover a stream, something it had never known existed. This discovery marked the first step in changing its perspective, as if a new world had opened up before it. The small frog's journey wasn't without challenges. It encountered steep hills that seemed to reach the clouds, and wide rivers that roared like mighty dragons. However, with each obstacle overcome, the frog's view of the world expanded. It met other creatures who shared stories of unimaginable places, painting a picture of a vast and wondrous world that seemed like a dream. Eventually, the small thinking frog found itself atop a high hill, overlooking a panorama it had once thought impossible. There, it realized the vastness of the world and how limited its previous beliefs had been. It was a moment of revelation, seeing the world not as it was, but as it could be. The monk's gaze swept over the monks, ensuring their full attention. He explained that the small thinking frog returned to the pond transformed, sharing its stories of discovery and wonder. The two frogs, once so different in their thinking, now sat side by side, sharing stories of the vast world beyond. They talked about the stars, mountains, forests, and seas, and with each story, their world expanded. The old monk leaned back, his story complete. He emphasized that the tale of the two frogs teaches us to think big and dream beyond our boundaries. The small thinking frog's journey illustrates how our beliefs shape our reality. When we dare to think big and question our limitations, we open ourselves to the wonders of the world, becoming explorers of life, seekers of wisdom, and creators of our own destiny. He concluded, in thinking big, we find the courage to take the first leap, to embark on journeys that transform us. Like the frogs, we too can discover that the world is vast, filled with wonders waiting to be explored. This is why, my friends, you should always think big. For in thinking big, we not only discover the world, but we also discover ourselves. As the monks absorbed the wisdom of the tale, the night deepened, stars twinkling like countless eyes in the vast open sky, a silent reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay beyond the walls of the temple and within the realms of a big thinking mind.